Oxford Union official Ellie Greaves sorry for hurting trans people. Why was she accused of hurting trans people? Now, that's what makes this story funny. An Oxford Student Union official has apologized for her supposedly trans exclusionary stance after objecting to the abolition of the women's officer role. Good. This is what we need. This is what we want. Make them eat their own, motherfucker. Man, the trans movement has done more for men's rights than the men's rights movement has in its entire existence. I'm not even joking. So Ellie Greaves, the vice president of Women's at Oxford Student Union, put a statement after the backlash against her comments in The Lies. The union is replacing its women's officer with a liberation and equities representative from the next year. Liberation from what? Common sense? Now, the reorganization of a union leadership will keep the same number of roles, 1 president and 5 vice presidents, but female students will lose a dedicated women's officer. So, women are the majority in college now. We should actually have a men's officer, if I'm being honest. I don't get why women are still given all these special privileges when they're the majority. The union said this was because the role was created at a time when women could not get full degrees and colleges were segregated, and that position prioritized one protected group over others. And Greaves is a point of contact for students with issues relating to women's health, sexual consent, and nighttime safety. She said last month, I really hope the issues I've been talking about this year don't fall into the background. I think there's a risk that the removal of the post will send a message that sexism is solved when it really isn't. Oh, no. So this is typical activists right there. The problem can never be solved because then their easy grift is going to be up. Like they won't be able to grift more money off of the problem anymore. That's why they keep moving the goalpost. Even after they accomplish everything they sought to accomplish, they will just move the goalpost even more. We're not where we need to be in terms of women's representation. Yeah, they're not, dude. They could have 100% women's representation and they still wouldn't be where they need to be in their eyes. And I think there's a risk of moves to tackle sexual violence being left behind. There's a reason the role has been around for so long. I'll continue to prioritize women's. Oh, yeah, she is a transphobe. You see that? Now, Sharon Udot, president of the Oxford Feminazi Society, said it's incredibly important to have women's focused role in current year. To say that it is redundant in this day and age is an incredibly privileged position to hold. You want to talk about privilege? How about you? Women already make up the majority and they call the shots. They make the rules. And yet they're so privileged, they still consider themselves an oppressed group. Yeah, fuck off. Now, from violence against women to advocating for increased support and funding for women's health, these issues don't change when the year does. Yeah, yet a lot more violence gets done against men, but nobody cares. Yeah, women's health gets way more attention and funding than men's health. Nobody cares. They still need more. It's never enough for him. Now, Greaves also told the student newspaper Sherwell that the provision for conditions such as endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome are not accommodated in the way I'd like to see. Meanwhile, probably still more funding than prostate cancer gets. Now, students took issue with some of her comments. The Oxford student website said on Tuesday she was asked at a school council meeting last week, why do you have to say to the what do you have to say to the hundred of students who were consulted regarding the role review, who agreed to that this would be a good change for inclusivity, equality, and the priority of intersectionality? Yeah, no, this is exactly what we predicted, isn't it? That this whole intersectionality thing is going to unravel the entire regressive stack. Oh my God. They are going to be turning on each other now. So if you're a straight white man, the best thing you can do to put an end to this nonsense is to make yourself scarce. Just, okay, you can have this space. I'm going to leave. And when you're not around for them to call an oppressor and campaign against, they will start going after each other because they're professional victims. Now, intersectionality is the theory of various forms of discrimination centered on race, gender, class, disability, sexuality, and other identities do not work independently, but interact to produce particularized forms of social oppression. The oppression Olympics, as we call it, yes. So Greaves issued a statement Tuesday saying the comments I made in the article contribute to a bioessentialist, narrow-minded narrative of what being a woman is, including the prioritization of women over minorities. I cannot apologize enough for the damage and hurt I may have caused to the trans community. This is good. So she was seething when she wrote this. So this is fucking awesome. Make them do what they've been making us do for years. I love it. Bioessentialism is the philosophy that biology plays a larger role in determining human psychology or development than socioeconomic or environmental factors. Wow. Wow, that's a very transphobic, very transphobic opinion there. So my knowledge of the trans experience is very limited at the moment, and I'll endeavor to indoctrinate myself further on trans inclusivity and more open engagement with the Alphabet Soup campaign and personal research. Yeah, you do that. While the entire rest of the world is moving away from it. The Oxford Student Union said the change to the WAM's officer position, the role has not been replaced, but augmented to include more underrepresented marginalized communities who currently do not have sufficient representation. Yeah, why is it all these privileged women seem to think that they deserve special treatment among all the other oppressed groups, huh? It's your privilege showing, princess.